was briefly there. We saw for a minute or so. Now we decided to do this kind of a roundtable session, unlike a webinar which is open to all, basically because we felt that it would be a good opportunity to, get very personalized thoughts and ideas and insights from a few people, and we would hopefully be able to summarize them and put it out to the community for their help. And Ranjit has been our advisor and has been associated with the Fast Food and Cafe Convention that we have done successfully for 4 editions now, and he consented to be the moderator for this session. And we have, I think, good, nice, different kind of brands together, and we hope to have an interesting discussion. So yeah, over to you, Ranjit.
Thank you, Mini. I guess I'll start off with giving a small intro of who I am. So I've been in the food and beverage business for now about 25 odd years. Been with the Taj Group of Hotels, been with Yum Brands, been with Lavazza, been with telecom in between. So I was with Vodafone, and been now with Subway for almost 5 years now. Subway, I'm sure some of us know a little about Subway, if not the sandwiches. We are probably the largest mom and pop chain globally. So we operate somewhere about 43,000 restaurants, which are owned by roughly about 20,000 franchisees. So that means about two restaurants per franchisee is typically our global average. So it's the largest mom and pop chain. It's the largest QSR chain globally. And the good thing about the brand is we understand what a small operator goes through in situations like this, because that franchisee is getting an income from one or two restaurants. So we understand the challenges he would have, and what is that we need to sort of give him as an advice to take on. So I think that's something which I carry with me in these 40 days, is how do we figure out to solve issues. But I see this as a good opportunity to understand from other people in the industry as to how they're seeing this situation change. For example, what will happen on the other side, I see it more as a consumer shift happening, a shift happening from the perspective of how they would interact with the restaurant, whether it's going to be digital or dine-in. Both in both situations is going to change. uh, he's going to be expecting clean doctor, surgeon type, sanitized hands, or whatever it may be. It's simple tasks. So, for example, in the restaurant business, we all say maintain eye contact and smile. That's the basic which we tell everybody in our industry. How do you do that with a face mask on? Do you paint a smiley on your face mask, or I don't know? How do you figure it out? So I guess those are topics which are bothering us in the industry. But I'll open it up to you, and I guess let's start by getting a small introduction on you, and what do you think? What these 40 days have gone, a consumer has gone through, is going to likely to carry forward onto the other side, and become a lasting change in our industry. So I guess the lady gets the first dibs on it. So Deepika, mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Ranjit. So, a small introduction on myself. I'm Deepika. I handle marketing and aggregator relationships for Dindigul Talpakati. And my take on these last 40 days of happiness at home, I would say, rather than quarantine, is families have understood the value of a larger brand, and the kind of love that you have even for a mom and pop store. So I think that is something that will continue. And yes, people will be a little bit more apprehensive to try something new, but will definitely be okay with trying something that they already know is good. And yeah, I think that's something that would continue forward.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepika. Guys, I guess the guys with the beard get the next dip. So the largest beard that I see is that of Chirag. So
I have got smaller than yours. Mine is more like a trim.
Your dad helped you with it, sir.
No, he didn't help me with the beard. He only helped me with the hair. Okay. Anyhow, now we have Shakir also on board, which is good. Otherwise, it was just Deepika, you, and me talking. So now it's better.
Yes, very much.
So just want to get your brief feel as to what is it that from a consumer behavior perspective do you think is going to be a change on the other side?
Shakir or me?
Yo, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hi guys, Shakir from Empire Group of Restaurants. We are present in Bangalore, and my take would be, it's quite different than what when Deepika actually spoke. For us, though we are still running online delivery and takeaway. But there are multiple segments of people present here. A lot of them just want to get out of their homes and experience what they've been experiencing on a normal basis. For example, me, as if I have to look at myself from a customer perspective, I would go out. Even though there are risks with that, but I would still want to go out and fulfill what I missed in the past 40 days. Though yes, staying at home has brought us closer to each other. We've bonded well with our close family, with our friends, with our folks. We've get to know each other, and also in a way we've understood what have we done wrong in our business, what can we change. Since a lot of us think alike in terms of COVID-19, and a lot of us have the same apprehensions that once we go out, what is going to be like. I have time to go back and try and understand what can we change post COVID-19. So I have looked at multiple things which probably we can discuss across the meeting today. So for me, I think it's been on the positive side, but yeah, there are negatives which were there in the 40 days. But for me, it's been quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
The past 1 week, yes, since Ramadan started, yes, we've become a little slow again. It's become quite boring. The things have changed. But otherwise, yes, I think it's gonna change, and a lot of things are gonna change. It's not gonna be like normal. But yes, I'm looking at something that is positive that is coming forward for us.
I see you continuing launching new products. So I guess recently you did the crunchy chicken popcorn or something similar to that, right?
Yes, very much.
So that's exciting because at this time where people are thinking about what to do next, you're going ahead and launching new products. That's great.
See, we don't have a choice. We have the time and the place and the resources. Might as well make use of it. And it's a trial and error shift right now. So, even if you're going to lose something, you're not going to be losing big. So you get your feedback, you get your reviews on the go. So, so you're in a better position to take your decisions, though it can be hard or soft. Whatever changes, there is an opportunity for you to bring in a change. So that's what I'm looking at.
I like that optimism in you. So the big burger guy. Viraj, what's your take? How did you get into this? What is it that you see changing on the other side of this?
I align with Shakir on the way he's thinking on this prospect. And I also am seeing a positive impact post-COVID. Currently, yeah, definitely we are burning a lot of things in terms of real estate. We are not utilizing it. A lot of things, the complete plan, the propaganda, everything has taken quite a big pause. But yeah, like it's a time that we are reinventing ourselves. We are understanding what are the mistakes that we have been doing. Because previously, it was like a war zone where online aggregators, your own competitors, and FMB being one of the easiest things to start in the perception of anyone in India. So they will just have a kitchen and they will start something in a cloud kitchen. And they're going to it's an investment of hardly a month turning out. So that is not how it is going to be in future. Only the players who have got into the depth of the project, who understand, who religiously take it very seriously things, I believe for them it is a good sign. And yeah, definitely, we have to just survive this painful time that we are going through. Yeah, learning has been amazing throughout.
Yeah, so Deepika, you're the one who's probably better equipped than any one of us on how you manage digital and online sales. So, given your experience and what Biraj was talking about, is that in this time of disruption where the digital is going to be the disruptor, there is truth and trust issues which are coming in from their side, from the digital or from the consumer community side. So how do you think is this whole trust and truth factor that we can rebuild on the other side of this crisis?
Trust is something very important, yes. So I think even now, from the aggregator point of view, they have understood that they've pushed the restaurateurs to a brink. So they have also started, saying, okay, Chalega, I will start listening to you. So at least I have found that difference. The Swiggy and the Zomato guys want to listen to you, and they're saying, listen, I cannot push you beyond this. And they have understood that we have a X capacity and this is what we can do. And they cannot, call the shots all the time. So in that way, I think as restaurateurs, we've taken the upper hand. But in terms of digital as a whole, yes, I see it moving forward, not just with the aggregators, with your own platforms in terms of how you're interacting with consumers. And what we have noticed this past, at least I'd say 20-25 days, is the consumer is really willing to talk to you. See, so far, all our digital platforms has just been a medium of us sending out information. This is what is happening in my brand. This is what I'm cooking for you. But now the customer is actually talking back, saying, okay, I like this. I would like to see more of this. I would like to see more of that. So I think it's become more receptive and more communicative.
Yeah. So something which I was observing, Deepika and Shakir, both of you doing this and posting this on your social media is the community work which you guys are doing. So giving out meals to the needy and keeping in connect with the people around you. So how has that played out for you in terms of maintaining a line of communication?
In terms of maintaining a line of communication, it's great. But this is something that we started as a community give back. We weren't looking for anything else other than just spreading the information to people who require it. And I think we've achieved it. Anything else beyond that is just a positive, in my opinion.
So Shakir, how have your super fans reacted to the food support which you're giving to the community?
Ranjit, see, but for us on the whole, when we look at going back to customer data, since we are just online and takeaways, we've I think and also it depends on the area wise, how people have responded, us being open throughout and us able to fulfill their needs throughout the day. A lot of people are still relying on us, and even though we were shut, people who do not know that we are still open. A lot of areas we are not located, in and around Bangalore. So people are trying to reach us. How can we, get your food? Is there any way you can deliver to us? So with the advent of cloud kitchens, like Kitchens at opening in Bangalore, they are present across 14 locations in Bangalore. So we are present in 9 locations of theirs. Wherever we do not have outlets, we've been present there, and that has been helping us in reaching out to our customer and also gaining new customers. We've been acquiring new customers at a very minimal stage, though at a very small numbers. But again, we are in a position to retain those customers. And also in terms of community service, we have gone out to reach out to the public, not just the people, but in terms of reaching to the police, reaching to the departments, reaching to hospitals, reaching to our municipality corporations, where people have come forward and requested, what can we do for that? We have done multiple things. We have not showcased all that on social media because we don't want to be doing that, because we've been in the industry 50 years and we always want to be supporting the departments and the community in many other ways. So that way, I think, just like Deepika was saying, it's been positive for us too, and we are looking forward to do this in a way we can increase our customer base. So we have a limited menu right as of now. We are just selling 30-35 items on the menu, and that is helped us, stay afloat in this kind of a situation, just to, beat the salary that we can pay. Though we are just 30% of our total workforce, 70% is displaced across the country, and a few are still left here. So, we thought, let's do something extra so we can, manage feeding our own people as well, helping our landlords who are small time landlords, who are landlords of our staff rooms. So we didn't want to disconnect anywhere in terms of our vendors or suppliers or even our customers. So that way we have tried and kept ourselves afloat in this kind of a situation.
Yeah, thanks, Shakir. So, Chirag, you've been a techie in your past avatar. So, given your tech background, can you sort of give us some guidance from understanding technology, the kind of changes which are happening, say contactless delivery, now contactless
Contactless
dining,
dining.
and all these yeah, all these different things which are coming up in the tech world. How do you someone like guy like you just knows how to use a laptop and Microsoft Excel? How do I determine, or any of us determine, whether it's an opportunity or whether it's somebody who's just being opportunistic of the situation?
Firstly, one of us means most of us have to understand what digital mediums are there, what competition is using, what the food aggregator is telling you to use, and what you are yourself okay in using. What Shakir says or what Deepika says, we have got a staff. It's not that we are going and cooking stuff, we are packing it, we oversee it. Sometimes we do it as well. But the thing is, the whole digital part, whether it's a mobile savvy app, whatever notifications comes, no matter how simple it is, that coordination is always lacking in the staff. So as much as you would leave it to a manager, in case of Shakir, I'm not a regular anymore in Empire, but back in my salsa days, each Friday, each Sunday used to be in the Empire eating dinner. And even now, I know the kind of crowd that goes there. They're old school. They're not digital friendly, neither the customer nor the staff. So
Yes.
there, whether it is a menu going onto the TV, that's okay. But like you said, contactless ordering and contactless, even the delivery part, all that you have to be dependent on the food aggregator a bit. But as of now, understand once the lockdown is over, both Zomato and Swiggy are Chinese funded companies. The new FDI rules that have come, they will have problems. That time, Empire, I know they have their own delivery thing. They're going to be okay. But whether it is Deepika, I am no longer on any of them, neither on Swiggy, neither on Zomato. But I do my deliveries through Dunzo or Rapido, or go and give it myself in case it's a corporate. Digital part is required there, that someone can pay online, whether it's a QR code based or whether it's a Google Pay, Paytm kind of a thing, wherein, the official number of the brand is used. That savviness will be required, because right now, understand, people at home, the moment they go out, ATMs are going to give only 500s and 1000s. So not 1000 anymore, 2000. And you basically, whatever basically is left after that with change, the grocery buying, mostly our staff doesn't do it. So that time a dependency on a hypermarket or any kind of these grocery delivery systems, your payments are okay. But from a customer perspective, all of us, I'm sure, are already on digital savviness, whether it's Google Pay or Paytm. On the menu part, I think most of us are there, most of us are there on food aggregators, but understand, I'm telling from a customer perspective. If I'm using Swiggy to order a biryani or a South Indian stuff, or let's say a butter chicken, I search the dish. I may not know which restaurant serves it. On a Swiggy or a Zomato, I will search the dish. It comes in the list along with the brand name, and I immediately add it to my basket and I order it. Hardly 10% or 5% of customers will go through the entire menu on a food aggregator brand menu. So our digital menu, like I have done it, you've seen it yourself, I have put it on my website. And whenever it's a corporate order or something, I do send them a JPEG or a BMP format menu, which they share
amongst each other through WhatsApp. It goes in an email, but it then gets shared in WhatsApp. And same is with my customers. Somebody who's a regular, he gives me a call, even like day before, I'd gone for cleaning my space. So that time old customer just got to know because I posted on WhatsApp that I'm cleaning my space and I'm having chai. So someone randomly called me on the official number and said, Chirag, I need some pasta and I need some chai. I'm like, anything else? He's like, I don't know. I immediately asked them that, do you have a WhatsApp number? They said, we are calling from the WhatsApp number. So I immediately through WhatsApp personally sent them the menu myself. The same thing, whether it's in case of Deepika or Shakir, or even our Biggie's friend, Biraja, we can definitely have a staff have a digital menu, as in a picture of it at least, which they can share with the customer, whoever they have the WhatsApp number of. Because these guys are not that tech savvy that they can send emails. They can't send emails in their own case, forget in case of a customer. So they are WhatsApp friendly, they are Facebook friendly. But again, most of the customers do not immediately you say that, I don't know WhatsApp, sir. Can you please like the Facebook page of my brand and I will reply to your DM. None of the staff members understand what's a DM.
Yeah, valid point. So Biraja, you work in a space where there are big names of burgers, and we keep seeing them putting out the kind of work which they're doing, and I'm sure some of it is something which you're inspiring. So how do you think when you start getting back to opening your restaurant, what is the sequence that is running in your mind that, okay, if third it open lockdown ends, fourth I can open my restaurant? So how are you planning opening that and then communicating it to your consumer?
In terms of communication, from day one, we do have a digital team that takes care, because 99% of our consumers, the pattern is that we do have our tech help. They are always on mobile, they're always on app.
Yeah.
But Chirag rightly told, like for Empire, maybe for City brand, customers are old and they know where they're going. For us, it's not like that. They're not too brand loyal until we are so big. So as of now, like we are having a regular communication, and we see at least like 7 times or 8 times the communication with the consumers are increasing nowadays. For a fact, like we have increased our online reputation team in this lockdown just to respond to the consumer. And as we are located in tier 2 cities mostly in East India, Bangalore being not the top 5 market for us. So in those areas, we do have our own delivery channels. We have dependency on Swiggy and Zomato, but though we do have our own delivery channel, and we do have a power to negotiate with them in a better experience. So putting all those things in mind, like post lockdown, the first and the very most thing would be like we need to give the consumer what is the notion that is going around in their mind. Like throughout this period of 2 months, they will be eating home cooked food, they will be eating all health related things. They will be going through a lot of memes. They will be going through a lot of health related things. We need to come up with some products which will have more insight and more knowledge to product, like calorie values, vegan products, let's say veg dominated products, because we see a lot of customer being shifting towards the veg segment as well. That has happened in my case, may not be in other cases. So we need to innovate with different types of products, and we need to come up with the trending items that are going over there.
Yeah, so thanks for that, Viraja. And when I look at this whole space and all the news articles, whatever we're reading, it all seems to suggest that even once the lockdown open, the dine-in recovery will take a longer time. People will have hesitation to go to restaurants, walk in. They'll have hesitations to be in environments which they're not too sure of. Moreover for us, we'll have the social distancing where you have to maintain that space between tables, people walking in, we maintain that space. So given that kind of a scenario where you're going to see a longer runway for the recovery of dine-in, the first few months, how do you think you're planning to do communication to build sales both on dine-in and TV? So anybody can take it.
Deepika wants to start.
No, sorry. Go ahead, Shakti.
Okay, but Ranjit, see, communication is key over here. You know, a lot of like we spoke earlier, a lot of people are going to be very apprehensive about what the situation is going to be like. Now, for us, since we have businesses, we've been going out of our homes to our outlets, you know, to see what has been happening. Is everything in place? Is the staff okay? So we know what has been happening around the city in the environment. But a lot of people have not even walked out of their homes. And I know for a fact a few cousins of mine, they not even open their main doors. So they asked me a question: how are you? The same question what you asked just now. How are you going to manage dining? So one thing is for sure, you know, the dining is going to be the last to recover and open, just like malls and other public gathering places, because restaurants are part of public gathering.
Yeah.
So the authorities are not going to give us a clean sheet as soon as the lockdown is lifted. So, you know, and we are no other way to, you know, flout those rules. So we have to be supporting the authorities in every way possible. How can we come over this in a way is, you know, one key information is that how can we communicate? How can we showcase our operations to our customer? You know, see, many brands have come across, we come down with videos, you know, that they're doing temperature checks, they're doing disinfections, they're sanitizing their places, they're cleaning, and you know, their staffs are equipped with their PPEs. So one way I would think is, you know, since we and Deepika would agree with me, you know, since we have outlets outside India as well in Dubai, you know, there the municipality enforces the restaurant brands to put up put up a TV in your dining area and showcasing your cooking life. So that is one way, you know, we rebuild the confidence and trust what the customer may have lost. You know, since we spoke about trust and confidence earlier, you know, that is one way we could rebuild, and also bringing in newer techniques of training. You know, probably we could start off something just a COVID-19 training. You know, how can we address? You know, we are required to maintain social distancing in our kitchens as well, but not every kitchen is equipped to maintain social distancing. You know, everything is going to be cramped. Some kitchens are going to be cramped depending on the situation. So how can we do that? So what we decided to do is, you know, we're not going to be opening all the outlets across the city. We're going to focus on prime locations in the city, but we would continue with our takeaway and deliveries. So we would look at prime locations, you know, telling them rest assured, please walk into a restaurant where, you know, we can have thermal scanning of you, thermal scanning of our staff. They are in their PPEs. The kitchen functions like this. If at all you want to walk into one of our kitchens and have a look how we do things, please feel free. You know, we'd be more than happy to bring you in, show you guys what we really do. So that
Yeah,
way, I thought a way to win over the trust.
yeah. So some very
No.
points you bring up, and I like the thought which you had about putting up posts of your team, yourself cleaning out restaurants or the facilities in the restaurant, doing the restaurant walkthrough, taking them to the kitchen area to see the precautions you're taking. So that I guess that's a good step towards building the trust and truth. Deepika.
No, I completely agree with Shaki. This is something that we're doing. In fact, UAE right now is, I think, the first market to open again, even for us. And Europe also is looking to open. So, in fact, something that they had done for our branch in Europe as well is just before restaurants open, they had people coming in from food and safety, walking through the entire scenario, closing down parts of the kitchen which they felt was not going to be, socially distanced when they were working. So they did sit down and help us even curate the menu such that that can be handled even in the kitchen. So I think that is something we can definitely look at, take examples from these countries who are doing a good job and bring it into ours as well. Because India, as you know, in terms of food and safety is not as high as some of the other countries. We can bring some of those practices into our own regular systems so it becomes easier for everyone working.
Yeah. So one of the things which has been going on in our house environment where we are locked down is that we are learning how to or relearning how to clean stuff, how to find dirt in
Yes.
the house. So we've got our eyes back for seeing dirt and how to clean. Now, me as a consumer or any of us as a consumer going out to a restaurant or anywhere will have those eyes on. How do you think it's going to impact the restaurant environment? Are you going to be proactively talking about the hygiene standards on your social channel, putting out communications? So Chirag, with your 4,000 followers on Facebook, how do you use that information?
Ranjit, I will say there that firstly, what Shakir says, or even Deepika follows that, Indian food safety authorities, we do follow it. We do have our FSSAI license and various other things. But the inspector or the doctors of the authorities hardly comes once in 3 years, not even once in a year, once in 3 years. Now, if I am basically like what Shakir is saying, that okay, do thermal checking up of all the customers as well as of staff, and we do that daily, it's not a big task, but it is a task. And understand Indian customer, even when we are going to the mandir, a temple, if it's a line, I am doing social distancing only if it is my local neighborhood temple. But in Tirupati or let's say with Vaishno Mata, I hardly am bothered if I'm touching the guy in front of me or the lady or anybody. They touch and go. Hardly we are bothered because that's where our faith is much bigger than the other things. Now, why I'm giving that example is that if every day or weekly I am doing that kind of a video makeup and putting it on social media, I'm giving enough examples to my stupid competition to copy paste it. Shakir, I understand, doesn't have competition like I do in my chai world. And Deepika, again, she's got a lot of biryani competition. But trust me, there's a difference between social media understanding and really connecting with the customer, which at least I understand she would do. Shakir loves it, and I manage my stuff myself. But biggest thing I can give you in case of Biraja, whether it is Biggies, I have seen the number of TV sets you have in each of your outlet, Biraja. So putting that video every 2 hours, like KFC or McDonald's also do that, every 2 hours or 3 hours, showing how clean your kitchen is, you can do it because you have that many display uh, pieces in your outlets. Putting that on social media, trust me, doesn't help us. FSSAI doesn't give us a discounted renewal, neither does the trade license guide us. So there's no point of putting that hygiene part on a digital level on social media. Yes, on your website, on your contact us page, like I discussed with you, Ranjit, you can definitely put pictures of how your space looks from the inside. And at your entrance, or when the customer is leaving, I've seen that practice in Empire. Whenever you're paying the bill, the guy very welcomely says that, sir, thank you for coming, please come again. And he will definitely, the kitchen guy is also right next to him. They definitely welcome you if you want to go have a look inside. They welcome you. So a small poster or a small note next to the counter or within your cash book. Please come and have a look within the kitchen. As good as you found the washroom, even our kitchen is that well. Put a tinker there. It's like connecting on their lingo. That I find well. Yes. Another thing, when you're doing deliveries, the food packaging. If weekly on a different kind of a packaging, don't put everything on the same video, but put how you package stuff, whether it's a drink, whether it's wrapping in an aluminum foil, or it's a plastic case lidded custom container. Put videos of that once in weeks. People understand you're serious about your packaging. You're serious about the hygiene within the kitchen as well as the washroom. These are things, I don't think so videos are supposed to be put that often, but yeah, pictures always good. And understand if you, how many, okay, let me ask this question now. Deepika, Biraja and Shakir, how many of you have social media in-house? Or like Biraja told, we have a digital team. Is the team on board or is it outsourced?
We have both the things. Like we have the partial team on board that take care of recruiting, and external team that take care of creative.
Likewise.
Okay.
Just like
what about you, Deepika?
Yeah. So digital is on board, and yeah, website and online is of outsourced.
Okay.
So we have our own app and website. So they are outsourced.
A one-time
so-
website designing or the app designing, I understand that. Like, I'm a great system engineer, but trust me,
Your voice is breaking
yeah,
up.
the monthly
Chirag, I think you have network issues.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear you.
better now.
Yeah, breaking in between. Yeah.
No, Chirag, not audible.
Yeah. So okay, while we wait for Chirag to recover his network, Biraja, you talked about having an internal digital team who's trying to work out what's going to happen. So what's the thought process which is running in your mind and your team's mind as to what should be the next step for you?
So typically, like the next step would be like I bifurcate it in two ways. First thing is we have to bring customers back to the store. For that, we have to educate them. We have to aware them about the steps that we are seriously taking at the store level, starting from the packaging, starting from the kitchens, and all these things we have to forecast it on our social media and answer them. The second thing is at the store level, definitely we are working with people, and in India the quality of manpower are not that great, and so we have to come up with options of automating the hygiene part of the store. Just like air curtain, that restricts like an insect killer. So we need to have more and more sort of equipment which will automate the complete process of hygiene in the store. Limited requirement on manpower. In that way, I feel we can adhere to our standards.
Thank you, Shakir. You looking at how you engage with your restaurant team and the people around you. There are these bunch of people who I sort of call the brave, because no matter what's happening outside, they make the effort to come and work at your restaurant. There are once the lockdown ends, there'll be these consumers or customers who would walk into your restaurant for a dine-in. They're being brave. They're being the sort of pioneers in it. How do you think we can celebrate this? And is there a story to tell?
Celebrate this. See, one more thing I would like to add. Earlier what Chirag was saying. Posting everything on social media is also calling for trouble. The more you post, the more you tell them about yourself. You're giving them reasons to find faults. So just like you mentioned, Ranjit, eye for detail. Customers are going to come walking back with their eye for detail, what they developed at home. So they might find a mosquito, they might find a fly, or they might find a pile of dust. So that is going to be a trouble. So in terms of celebration, honestly, I am not looking to celebrate in the near future. I'm just focusing on how can I bring back my customers and give them that confidence. Yes, you can come back and dine with us. Whether you're dining with us, whether you're taking a delivery or taking a takeaway, we are just focusing on how convenient can it be for the customer to reach out to us, and how convenient can it be for us to reach out to the customer. Because now it's a point wherein customers have multiple options in the industry, across segments. Initially with the lockdown, I think we were the few ones which were open across the city in terms of home delivery and takeaway. So we did see a good number of orders coming in. But as and when days passed, weeks passed, people started, hotel restaurateurs, cafe owners start realizing, this is no way we can beat the lockdown. There has to be some way, the others can do delivery. Why can't we do the same? So they started opening themselves in terms of a trial. Let us give it a try. चलो देखते हैं 3-4 दिन चलाते हैं उसके बाद अगर नहीं हुआ तो बंद कर देंगे. So I started with that same kind of a level of understanding. Let us start. If there is an issue, how can we overcome it? So the past 3 weeks, I have received complaints as well in terms of quality issue. But yes, by God's grace, it was not something that a fly fell in or an insect. It was a quality issue in terms of the ingredients that was used. Because we had multiple challenges in terms of supply chain as well. There is a disruption across the industry. We were trying to stock up with whatever was available. It was not meeting our quality standards. It was not meeting our regular standards. But still, we made an effort. How can we still reach our customers? How can we still sell our butter chicken and coin paratha until 1 a.m. in the night? So in terms of celebration, I think it would be too early for us to celebrate, because, as far as I have understood from my cousins who are doctors, they've told us, they very clearly told me, said, see, they may lift down they may lift the lockdown on May 3rd. But trust me, there is going to be a huge spike end of this month. That is May. Coming May, end of May, there is going to be a very huge spike. So I've convinced myself that dining is not going to be opening until June 30th. So I am prepared in a way that, yes, post June 30th, how can we celebrate? Because when we want to celebrate, we want to make it look like the whole world is celebrating or the whole country is celebrating. We want to celebrate for the people who have helped us overcome this kind of a situation. Maybe we want to celebrate with probably with doctors and nurses or with policemen. We want to celebrate with them.
Yeah. So those are the main points you bring out, that you're celebrating with these people who have supported us in this area, in this time of crisis. So I see we have just about 13 minutes left on this call. Let's do one round across this chat room, and let's see what is the advice you would like to give out to the restaurateurs outside of this chat room. What should they be focusing on? How do they create that little bit of a cash reserve to use for marketing on the other side? And where do you think they should be putting that money? So just that big brotherly, fatherly, sisterly kind of an advice which you would like to pass on to the people outside of the chat room. So who wants to start?
Okay, but see, one piece of advice that I would like to give my fellow restaurateurs, we are under pressure. We are under tremendous pressure. How can we overcome this? And overcoming this would be: do we have the support of our staff? If we have support of staff, how can we convince them to work without any salary? They need to be convinced enough that, yes, we are doing a service. When we are doing a service, it does not always come with the pay package. So for now, can we forego a bit of the salary? Will they support us in doing this? So firstly, we would require the support of our staff. Secondly, we would require the support of our customers. How much do we know the customers want to order from us? It depends. If you're a niche brand, it's going to be very difficult. If you're a habitual brand, just like us, it's going to make the things more easier. When people can reach out to you, it's eating a paratha, ghee rice and a butter chicken is more easier on your stomach and on your pocket. Not everybody is going to be eating out on a pizza every day. There are multiple ways wherein you can look at the situation. One thing, and cash reserve is going to be quite difficult, because if you do not have any liquidity with you as of now that you can maintain for the next 2 to 3 months, it's going to make it quite difficult. If there is absolutely no cash reserve, I would suggest shut down, stay at home, chill, use whatever cash reserve you have for your sustenance for the next couple of months. Once things are getting better, start off again. All the landlords, everybody is coming out to help. You can probably request your landlord. If it's a rented outlet, you can request the landlord, boss, this is what it is. Defer my rent payments for these many months in the coming future. I am in no way to start a business, but I know for a fact that once the economy bounces back in, I will be in a better position. So if you have the cash reserve, give it a try. Probably if you have 5 outlets, start with 1 outlet. If it's working well, start with the others. If you think, no, it's going to be a complete risk for me, where if I start, I'm going to lose everything, my livelihood as well, then I would suggest stay back home, wait for some more time, because we've waited for 35 days, probably can wait for a month or 2, and then take a call upon this.
So, who wants to go next? Yeah, Viraj, most welcome to.
Okay. So from my end, the thing would be to the fellow restaurateurs whoever are there, would be not to make the food so discounted that on the course of competition we have seen a lot of players are coming up, they are undervaluing the product. So let's not compromise on our product quality, or let's not compromise on the brand value to give undervalued products to the consumer, where consumers are only buying from us only for the sake of buying at a low price. That is creating an internal conflict between the ecosystem of restaurants. So at this crisis level also, we see a lot of brands on the verge of getting orders. They are giving discounts which are not even equal to their food cost. And they are also not sustaining for a long run, and they are letting the other players also to not sustain.
So why
mature is what I'm trying to convey.
so while Chirag is trying to reconnect onto the call, Deepika, would you like to take it on?
Yeah, so I would say yes, I completely agree with both my fellow friends here. But what I would like to say is, yes, there will be times when you're stuck on cash. I would suggest you put it back into your product rather than spending on marketing, because making sure your product is speaks for itself is, I think, more important. Because right.
Sorry, Deepika, we lost you out in between.
Compromising to an extent of making sure take products off the menu just because items are available. So I think whatever money you have, whatever liquidity is available, back into your product. That is more important than spending on big marketing stunts to keep your name up. Because end of the day, your product is important. If our product works and if it makes noise for itself, that's good enough.
Very, very true. Very true. And that's the reason I see you got some couple of new biryanis out, right?
We've brought back a few biryanis, yes, and
prawn biryani or something you've gotten.
Sorry.
So I was seeing that a couple of new biryanis you've gotten, or were they already there? You brought them back.
So they were there in some other markets. So if you're looking at Bangalore, we've brought back Natukoli, country chicken, but that's always been a staple in Tamil Nadu. It's never entered the Bangalore market, so we've pushed it there. And yes, we are looking at combos because there are a lot of single folks out there who need food. So we're looking at combos, something that Talpakatti has never done. So we're putting our money into the product and getting combos and things that the customer needs more than anything else.
Thank you, Deepika. Chirag, your parting comments or advice which you would want to give out to our fellow businessmen.
Well, like Deepika's about bringing back old stuff on a combo level. What Shakir told in the beginning, I find it good. But I was pitching that time and promotion that do as well understand the government checking it, but they
Chirag, are you breaking?
It's completely breaking. We're not able to understand what you're talking.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. So I was saying that digital promotion, whatever you're doing, as of now, understand competition will send it like a flicker. As of now, whether it is authorities or government, everybody will be very much bothered. Are you maintaining social distancing amongst customers? Now, in our old school promotions, whenever our cafe, means in my case cafe, in your case restaurants, hotels, whenever it was packed on a Saturday or a Sunday or let's say a festive holiday, we would click a picture or one of the staff would click a picture and definitely we would post it online saying that we are packed and thank you so much for coming. Do come again. Now, putting those kind of crowded pictures will immediately raise question marks by most people. Hello, customer not following social media distancing. This is what I'd heard today. Social media distancing. I've actually gone and commented on that post. Friend, it is social distancing, not social media distancing. No, Chirag, what I meant was the person has clicked the picture and posted it on the company page also. I'm like, there's no distancing in that. Everybody does that. But Chirag, the crowd is not maintaining distance. I'm like, most of the self-service places, like, let's say in your case, Ranjit, Subway also, not everybody sits down. Most of the people are standing, talking and eating. Same happens in Empire. Outside where the roles are present, people are standing and having. So they don't maintain one arm distance next to each other. They stand neck to neck. So as of now, what I would suggest, even people who will be the audience tomorrow to our conversation, we have to send pictures of the first customer who comes when the lockdown gets waved off. Maybe a table wherein 4 are sitting little away from each other, maintaining that distance and with a smile. Of course, a packed table. That is where we being owners we can take a good call of taking a good picture of a family or a friend set or a colleague group sitting enjoying a meal at our place. Posting that, people, lovely space. Please do come by. We can post it that way. Otherwise, like Deepika has introduced some old school biryani, just talking about the biryani, maybe with a picture of that, and allowing customers to put comments that, okay, we loved it, we would like to have this even in that city or that city. Comments coming, that is a better thing. We have to engage with the customers. Definitely after lockdown, this kind of digital social media promotion is in-house. I don't think so. You need to outsource this. This is
Yes.
something you can think yourself and do.
Yeah.
Customers commenting is what's your reciprocation. Social media from a food delivery perspective, see that if an order is packed up, nobody's gonna question the delivery guy. Are you carrying all parcels of Empire or of Chai Patti or of Biggies? Nobody's gonna question. But a packed 5 or 6 packets he's carrying, 2 could be only of your outlet. The others could be of different ones. But clicking a picture and saying, friend, you don't want to come to my space, you're making me miss the footfalls, but please enjoy my food at home, and send a picture of you enjoying it. A picture of the delivery guy with this kind of a caption, I'm sure it'll work on a reciprocation level wherein the customer will definitely like to comment, hey, had a good time. I've done this yesterday with my own customer who had ordered the chai with the pakoras. She's posted pictures. She said, Chirag, not a happy day because Irfan Khan died. So I'm not posting anything online. But I will post it tomorrow. And today, Rishi Kapoor has died. So I don't think so she'll post today also. But on the Chai Patti page, I have posted. I posted because I am not bothered about both. I love them, both of them as actors. But I posted on the Chai Patti page as a story, not as a post. As a
Correct.
story that
Stories
people
work.
get to see the thing. Once Saturday comes, it'll come as a post. These are things, if I'm self-managing my social media, I can do it well.
Yes.
And based on the frequency in the market. It's my personal thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you rightly say, the theater has changed, because earlier the theater for us, for the people who had restaurants, worked in restaurants, the theater used to be the dine-in area where you did all the drama to keep the guests entertained.
Right.
Now that drama is shifted to digital or your social media channels, and that's what you give Chirag as an example is the new stage where we act. So thank you, Deepika, Shakir, Bheraja, Chirag, for your time, valuable inputs. I'm sure all of us would have learned a few things on this chat room today. And Minnie, thank you so much for organizing this.
Thank you. Thanks to each one of you for being here. Thanks for being a wonderful moderator, Ranjit. And we are equally waiting for everything to settle and all of you all to come back into, shape so that we can be back in action, because our 5th edition of the Fast Food and Cafe Convention was supposed to be held 12 days from today. And unfortunately, that obviously has been put off for later this year. Ranjit and Chirag have, of course, been part of it. But now for the 5th edition, we do hope to see you, Deepika, Shakir, and Bheraja at the event, physically present on the stage, not just like this online.
For sure, yes.
But thank you so much for coming, for taking the time out, and we hope to stay connected with you all. Thank you.